Should we clink? Should we clink? Clink. Oh my gosh. Welcome to an episode of Story and Things, a storytelling podcast, Wine and Read Edition. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira. Basically, we're going to be whining and reading, but not too much reading. Just a little reading.
But a little bit of whining.
A lot of whining. 30%
of this podcast will be us drinking. Wait, can we show that one? We don't have like a cork thing. So we have to push our cork.
So we just pushed it in. It's fine.
Pushed it in. I was really scared.
It was really scary. I thought we were going to die.
But I mean, we are here and we're going to be whining about a classic.
A classic. It was popping when we were young.
Yeah.
And not thriving.
And it is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to do the whole franchise. We're not going to cut it into books. We're just going to do the whole thing.
I mean, I'm not a Twilight head.
Twilight head? You're not?
No. I mean, I liked it. I read
14-year-old you would disagree.
I liked it, but I wasn't as into it as you were.
Mm.
So I'm really going to be trusting you here.
Also, we should mention my mother.
She's
the number one Twilight fan.
Edward Stan.
No, yes, but she also loves Twilight.
I love that.
She will deny this. She literally watched the first movie back to back all day in one day. And I remember one time I think I left in the morning and I came back in the late afternoon and she was still watching it. And she was like, oh, your little brother just really wanted to watch it again. And I was like,
he's not even there.
He's not even there. I was like, no, he doesn't. He's
funny.
Literally in his room.
Your mom is one of a kind. I freaking love that.
She's a whole mood.
Okay, so
I'm gonna summarize it briefly.
Okay. I'm gonna drink while you're doing it.
As briefly as I possibly can, and I did write it down because I feel like I'll get lost in all of the details
because it's so much.
Just so much details.
Yeah.
So Twilight, the first one. We're gonna go back to high school.
Okay, I'm there. I needed a little second, but I'm here now.
Okay.
What was I doing during high school?
Crying. Okay. At least that was me.
Me too.
Okay, so in the first book, Bella Swan moves to Forks, Washington with her father because her parents are split. Her mother is like in sunny Florida or Arizona. I think Arizona. And her dad's in Forks, Washington. Okay. She moves in with him, and then she meets Edward. And Edward is actually a vampire. Surprise!
Just like a little thing,
He's a vampire, but he's very he's trying not to get too close to her, but then ends up getting too close to her. She ends up almost dying, but it's fine because she loves him.
It's fine because when you love someone,
it's worth it. And I mean, in the prologue, if you read the prologue.
Yeah, of course. I love prologues.
I love prologues. Yeah, me too. Anyway, if you read the prologue, she literally says, dying for the one you love is a good way to go. Literally get it tattooed on me.
Yeah, it's literally her is that it for the first summary?
Yeah.
Because that's basically it.
That's
You're right.
Literally it. Yes.
Okay. While you take a drink, I just wanted to mention that I remember when I read the prologue as a teenager and she was just like, Edward, turn me into a vampire. Do it.
You mean epilogue?
Oh, you're right. The epilogue. Yeah. The epilogue after the
she was so ready to be a vampire.
She makes little dotted. I already put kind of when you get piercings and they have to draw where they're gonna be putting it. She just has it all ready. She had the alcohol put on and it's okay, it's ready, it's sterilized.
Let's do this.
Just do it.
I lotioned up too so I could smell good.
He's like, I know.
Ew.
And he's still oh God, she smells.
I know, right? It's oh, she smells. What do you want to whine about with the first book?
I have so much. Okay, wait.
Can I start?
Yeah, I actually want you to start.
Great, thank you. Okay, so this is not my theory. I've heard it from someone else, and I'm so sorry. I don't know who I heard it from because, there's so many Twilight fans again.
Yes.
Or haters.
Something.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned that Bella Swan is so bland so that you can envision yourself in her.
She's your name, a self-insert.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what she is. So that was one of my, my little whine. For the first one is that Bella Swan is kind of boring, and it doesn't feel like she has a whole lot going on for her. It doesn't seem like she had any ambitions before Edward. It's weird because I think they say that she was more mature than her own mother.
Yeah, I agree.
And I do think that she can be independent, you know, based on like how her mother is. But I don't really think that she ever really knew what she wanted in her life. Like,
who, the mom or Bella?
Bella.
Yeah, she did.
I don't really think that she ever really thought like, oh, you know what? Maybe one day I want to be a therapist or a teacher or whatever.
She was
you know?
just like, tomorrow I'm going to eat ketchup.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really know if she had any ambition. And, you know, once she falls for Edward, that's it for her. You know, she's like ready to die. And it kind of sucks because I think that the reason why no ambition was written for her was that it kind of felt like, oh, she doesn't really have anything to lose. You know, like she's not really leaving anything behind.
I get it.
Besides her family. But, you know, it's like whatever.
It's like whatever. You know?
Whatever.
It's crazy because when I think of her in the first book, when I read it as a kid, I thought Twilight was the best thing ever. That was the first thing I read outside of school. Like,
yeah, me too.
Exactly. And I feel like the reason they painted her as such a like boring character is because we were teenagers and we were boring.
Yeah.
It was very self-insert.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of,
I mean, this isn't the talk for it, but like,
no, I get what you mean. But
like,
just saying that Bella's character is a little boring.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
Boring.
I don't think. Yeah, and remember, this is a wine and read, and these are our opinions. So I'm sorry if you're getting offended. I actually do really like Twilight. I just want to say that.
We didn't say a disclaimer.
No, that goes
for any of them.
It's okay. We'll just put it in.
Okay, disclaimer. We'll have spoilers. Okay, disclaimer. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Okay,
and also swearing. I guess I don't know.
Okay, can I say something? Can I whine about something?
Please.
Oh my gosh.
This is the point. Floor is yours.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to whine about how Edward watched her sleep a couple of times.
Okay.
Because I remember reading that and watching that.
Movie.
And just thinking like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. That's so
romantic.
Cute. Why doesn't the kid from math class do that to me? Because I was in 7th grade. Yeah. What? Like, that's weird. Yeah. That is so weird. That is like unacceptable behavior, but it was romanticized. And I like, okay, not to like get off tangent, but the fact that like Twilight is getting big again makes me worried kind of for the youth and how they're going to view that. Is that going to be romanticized or is that going to be talked about? Because Gen Z is pretty good at like talking things out.
Yeah.
But that's like another level of weird.
But I mean, I feel like that brings up an even bigger discussion about like how easily influenced are you by the things that you listen to, read, watch. I don't think I was that easily influenced by things that I read.
But
I did think it was like cute because I was young, but it wasn't like no guy was going to do that, you know, like realistically.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
I get you. I understand that. I just think that today's youth is very easily like, I see someone doing this and I see someone doing this. So to be liked, since they're going viral, I have to do this. And since Twilight is going viral, then I have to be like the characters in Twilight. And even TikTok, they do like little impersonations of Bella or of Edward. And
I know it's funny.
It's so funny. And I know it's a joke, but people are going to start being like, I'm going to act like that just to make a joke. But like...
low-key?
Because I've seen kids do it. I work with children. And I had a situation happen to me recently. And I'm not going to go into specifics because I can't. But I had a situation happen to me recently where they were like, hey, Cheli. They don't call me that, but they were like... where's Candace? And I was like, what? Where's who? Where's Candace? And it's like, oh, Candace, whatever fit in your mouth. Candy's nuts fit in your mouth. There we go. That's what it was. But okay, let me explain the whole situation. When he said that, I was like in the middle of doing something else and I just turned and I was like, what? And it's like, oh, it's like a Peanuts joke. Like Peanuts. And I was like,
Candy's nuts.
Yeah, and he had no idea what the ulterior thing was there.
Aww.
Kids are so easily influenced to do certain things. So if it's like, oh my gosh, watching my sister sleep, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's a complaint of mine. Just that whole thing was weird. Any complaints of yours?
For the first one.
I have another.
What is it?
Edward's a gaslighter. I don't like, though, that when he really wanted Bella to not, like, you know, figure out. Yeah, he would just be like, no one's going to believe you. You know, and I get it. I get it because he's literally a vampire trying to survive and not to be killed by anyone.
Yeah.
But I hate that Bella was like, but I want more. You know? Doesn't
a gaslighter, don't you have to do it in more than once, though?
I think he does it more than once.
I'm thinking of the car one. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking
or the van?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of? When he, like, stops the van and he's like, no. That didn't happen.
I think if you do it in the form to manipulate someone's ideas of what they thought happened is when it's considered gaslighting.
Okay.
I think.
Well, it's because, like, you know, people keep throwing it around a lot, so.
I get it.
I just don't, you know.
Okay.
It's almost like when, like, trigger warning was, like, used too much, and it's like people started to make fun of it.
And it sucks because it is something that we should use, but then it's like.
People don't.
People do, like. I know what you mean. I don't know how to bring up an example, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's just no, I understand though. But
I get it.
he would kind of make her feel like what she saw wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Bella's like,
as we said, boring. So she needed a little excitement in her life.
She needed a little excitement in her life.
This isn't a whine. This is just a good. Charlie?
Ma'am, there's no goods here. But
Charlie's kind of good.
But he's like a police officer.
But Charlie's
in this
like,
economy?
Wait, but Charlie's like also a dad. So wait, can I say something?
What's funny?
What?
You were always Team Charlie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so before we were friends, when I was in middle school.
We were always friends.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Straight out of the womb.
I'm just kidding.
But before we were friends, back when I was in middle school, I think it was like 7th grade, the public library in our town, you know how they have the little rooms where the kids can have classes? Mm-hmm. There was this one day where they decorated one of the rooms completely like Twilight based. And I was like super into Twilight. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to have a showing. And they did. And I remember I went with my friend. And in the front where the projector was, they had like a bowl. And they had gotten a glove and put water in it and put it in the freezer, cut the glove and put it in the bowl. And it was supposed to be like, this is how it feels like to hold Edward's hand. And I made my friend steal the pinky and I paid her $1 to eat it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think about that.
She ate it?
She ate it for $1. I mean, back in middle school, that can buy you a whole thing of corn chips. So,
not now.
Not in this economy.
No, definitely
Oh
not.
my gosh, but I remember that. But bringing that up, I was always Team Charlie. When Team Edward and Team Jacob was like a thing, you remember how I always answered Team Charlie.
That's not even...
It's a team! He's a father.
But not for Bella.
You don't get it. No, you don't get it. It's for me.
I don't know. I can't get over that. Because, you know, Charlie wasn't even, like, in the running for Bella. Like, are you saying that you wanted her to choose family?
I wanted her to choose family as family.
Ew, this isn't that kind of story, okay?
Well, we'll get to how I feel about that later, but go ahead.
Okay, so next let's go to New Moon, which I would argue is the worst book of them all. Literally so fucking boring. Okay, anyway. Mm-hmm. In this book, Bella celebrates her 18th birthday.
Good for her.
And of course, the Cullens, which is Edward's family, they throw her a surprise birthday party, but shit hits the fan. The youngest vampire, Jasper, he's a little, he's a little thirsty,
He's a little.
Exactly. So Bella accidentally, in this party, she gets a paper cut. And boy, does this paper cut.
It's a big ass paper cut, isn't it?
I'm just kidding.
I know.
I'll slice her whole arm. No, yeah, it's like a paper cut and he gets thirsty and he like tries to lunge at her. But Edward, I don't know if it's the same from the movie in the book, but like he like pushes her and it just...
In the movie, he like...
he just like freaking throws her and she ends up getting hurt. And so Edward realizes, you know what? I'm bad for you. So I'm going to leave you.
He was a baddie.
He was a baddie.
Kind of a baddie.
A little bit of a baddie. So he decides to leave her. So she gets high-key depressed, loses the will to live. She befriends this guy named Jacob Black, whatever. And she realizes that if she starts living la vida loca, she'll start to hallucinate Edward.
Mm-hmm.
So she starts doing dangerous things. She can picture Edward telling her to stop.
Yes.
So, like a sane girl would, she starts putting herself in danger. And so, long story short, Edward thinks that she's dead because of something dangerous that she did.
Stupid, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he is about to go kill himself by revealing himself to a bunch of humans, and like this like higher rank vampires would kill him in response. So Bella finds out through a sibling, Alice, and they go to save him. They do save him in time, but then at the end, the Volturi, which is the higher rank vampires, they tell them, well, you have to turn her into a vampire because she has this like immunity thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They really want her to be a vampire because they think her power is cool. And yeah, so Edward isn't down though. He's not down for vampire Bella. But Bella is down.
She is down. And it's funny because the Volturi are like, when are you going to turn her? It's like later. And she's like, really? And he's like, no. Why the fuck would I turn you?
Why would I turn you into a vampire? Are you stupid? Thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts about the second movie.
Okay, do you want to whine first?
Actually, why don't you whine first?
Me? Okay.
Yeah, you can whine first.
So my first thought is that Bella, although she's already boring, she's like hella boring without Edward. In my opinion, we can all disagree. I know people who preferred the second book because Edward wasn't in it. But I thought she was really boring without him.
Even when she was with Jacob?
Yes, I thought she was really boring.
Mm.
That book was really hard for me to get through.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I just didn't like the fact that she would put herself in danger.
I don't either.
Because, like...
That's no self-respect.
No self-respect.
Because she's doing this for a boy.
You know what's kind
Boys are gross.
Boys are gross. Even at the time when I was reading this, and you know how, like, in the beginning it went through the months?
Yes.
And, like, she was just, like, not even there.
Yes.
It sucked. And I remember thinking, like, oh, this is really unhealthy. Yeah. Like, I get it. But like,
even when at that age when you were reading it?
Yes. I remember thinking, like, I don't think you're supposed to feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I had ever gone through a breakup, but at that point.
You know what? I don't think Jacob was a good influence on her at all. Because he was the one kind of leading her to do dangerous things.
Yeah.
But also, like, he was just horrible.
Yeah, he was.
And I was Team Jacob. I was Team Charlie, but I was Team Jacob when I was reading these books, only because I like the idea of like the secondary character being with the main character.
Okay.
Yeah, but whatever. But like
such a weird reason.
I just like that. Okay. I like when it's like the best friend. But
how can I forget?
I mean? You get what
how can I forget your trope?
That's us. Uh-huh. But it was done so poorly because there's a point where, oh my God, you have to tell me. Actually, no, wait, I have the quote. When Jacob kisses her.
Ugh.
Jacob acts as if Bella can't make her own decisions, and it's extremely. Actually, I don't have the quote. I'm sorry. I just took this from a wiki.
You're fine. It's okay.
And is extremely overprotective. When he doesn't agree with her choices, he'll yell at her, become aggressive, or run away because he doesn't get his way. He even forcibly kisses her to try and convince her she feels something for him. That's gross. I
don't like Jacob. I've never liked Jacob.
As a girl at 13 years old, thinking that that's okay, because there was some pretty messed up stuff
with Jacob. Even at that age, I felt it was weird that he was always so upset with her. And not saying that Edward didn't get upset with her, but like it kind of felt like with Jacob, he was so like convinced that they were meant to be together that he would kind of make it seem like, oh, you're going to see it one day though. You know?
I hate that because
I don't know how else to explain it. It's just toxic.
That's very nice guys finish last mentality. Well, that's more an Eclipse. I'll talk about that then too. But yeah, Jacob was just disgusting about it. I have this written down. I don't know if I talked about it with you. How can Jasper? I wrote Jasper. Oh, sorry. Think about it. How can Jasper manipulate her emotions
when she's immune?
When she's supposed to be a shield?
I don't know.
Not really a whine. I just thought I should bring it up because we talked about it.
We did talk about it. Yeah, I know. I never understood that either. Because in the first book, he manipulates her emotions because she's like anxious about something, like school, I think. And Bella's like, Jasper, stop it, you know? And it's like, I thought she's immune to everybody.
I don't know, Steph seems a little bit like your issue, so.
Wait.
Ball's in your court. Okay, what?
Oh, no, wait.
Not yet. I hate that she jumps off a cliff to see Edward again. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, it made her less boring, so.
Jumping off a cliff shouldn't be.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, I almost dropped my drink. I was so scared.
People jump off cliffs for funsies, okay? Look, all of the wolves.
Chapter 2. Yeah.
Also, Jacob's a wolf, but not really. He's a shapeshifter.
Is that a whine? That is not a whine. He's a shapeshifter, okay?
But like, they look like big dogs.
No, he's a shapeshifter.
Have you seen a werewolf?
I actually have. Just imagine.
They look a little bit cooler.
He's a shapeshifter. People always say he's a werewolf, but he's a shapeshifter. He shapeshifts. No, you don't get it. He shapeshifts depending on like where they're at, and they can turn.
But he only.
I don't know enough.
To a werewolf.
I don't know enough to fight this argument right now. So whatever you say, it's like my face is a trampoline, and whatever you say to me is just gonna bounce right back at you. You know. So don't bite me.
Okay, fine. He's a He's a shapeshifter. Okay.
Thank you. I'm never gonna finish this cup. It's like never ending. I feel like I keep drinking and it keeps going like. I don't know what's going on.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I know. No, because I was like, I need to finish it. If for those of you listening, we have like these wine glasses, but they're like wine glasses. How is yours more empty than mine?
I don't know. Drink faster.
Isn't that crazy that clink sounds like drink?
Yeah. I love that.
A little food for thought.
I feel like we're going on a tangent. Can we get to Eclipse?
Yeah, please. I hated Eclipse.
Really?
I know it's like one of the most liked ones.
I think it's like Twilight and Eclipse.
Twilight, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, A Gap, and New Moon.
A Gap.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say that about Eclipse because you can't remember it.
Yeah, you're right. And, okay, but we watched that scene together. Oh, okay. First explain it because I have stuff to say.
Okay. Anyway, so this is the summary for Eclipse, okay? So Eclipse is basically getting more in depth with the relationship of Edward and Bella because they're back together. But there's shit happening around the town because of this, like, villain. I don't really want to get into it, to be honest. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're trying to hurt Edward and Bella because Edward killed their loved ones. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you kill some loved ones sometimes.
And, you get a little bit of revenge. It's fine. And so it's a little bit infuriating because Bella, obviously, through 2 books, only her thoughts were Edward. But now she really wants to keep Jacob in her life as well. Mm-hmm. But Jacob's a little bit like, well,
what if you romantically?
What if we were more, though?
I know.
Bella really wants to get dick down by Edward, not Jacob. Yeah. By Edward.
But she wants to be human. Getting dick down. Yeah. Dangerous dick.
Yes. Deadly dick.
Yeah.
But Edward is abstinent, apparently.
Good for him.
Yeah, I know. Good for him.
That's so funny. Okay, keep going.
He tells her that he wants to save her soul by waiting until marriage. She's not down, but she's like, okay, fine, whatever. Anyway, they get engaged, and Jacob is so heartbroken. So heartbroken that he's like about to die for this girl. But like, also not really, because it's kind of manipulative, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
And then Bella kisses him, or tells him to kiss her. And it's like, what? When he kisses her, she realizes that she does love him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But she loves Edward more.
Yeah, but she loves both of them.
But she loves Edward more.
Jacob too.
But she literally says...
but this is where Team Jacob and Team Edward.
Okay, well, you lost, okay?
Okay, up for debate, but go ahead.
Fanfics exist. They kill the antagonist, and at the end, Bella does choose Edward over Jacob, and then they start planning the wedding.
Not dick down yet.
Not dick down yet. So sorry for anyone who's waiting in anticipation. First of all, before we get into the whole Bella Edward Jacob scenario,
Yes.
it comes out that Jasper is a Confederate soldier.
Hold on, I do have to
Or
highlight
he was a Confederate soldier.
I have a couple of things to say about that.
Jasper?
Yeah. I
You keep writing Jasper.
Okay, don't look at my screen, okay? I just really liked crows. Jasper, tomato. I have a few things to say about this.
Jasper.
A lot of the characters in this story, they don't need to have the past that she created for them. I understand that I don't know if she was trying to be historically accurate, like, oh, if he lived here, then he had to be a Confederate soldier. But, like, you don't have to make him a Confederate soldier.
It's fantasy, baby. You can do whatever you want.
I know, he could have been whatever. Mm-hmm. But he was a Confederate soldier.
Could have been a king. I don't know.
I hated that.
Me too.
I hated that.
I don't think I really understood at the point that I read it.
Me
How
neither.
bad that was.
Yeah.
I was kind of just like, okay, kind of weird.
It is.
But it was kind of just like sprinkled in there.
A weird flex.
I know. It's like
I don't know. I like after I read that, I couldn't support Jasper. Mm-hmm. I just don't get it. I don't know if he's changed. Okay, wait, but can I read something to you that I just found online? Apparently, people have said that Mormonism and Twilight.
I literally told you this.
Yeah. Go like kind of are linked together. And I know Stephanie Meyer is a Mormon.
Mm-hmm. Listen, no hate.
No, it isn't. It isn't any hate. It's just that I want to read something that someone wrote. It was about the Mormon influence that runs deep in the imagery of Twilight. Mm-hmm. It says a crucial Mormon belief is that humans can become divine. In the Twilight series, the Cullen family of vampires was once human, but now lives without death in a resurrected condition. Their immortality is a kind of probationary period for eternal life. And I don't know if, like, that means that if they've done bad in their life, they can do it again. Because divine kind of gives you, like, oh,
you deserve eternal life.
Yeah, so why did she make him a Confederate soldier?
Maybe she didn't think that deep.
That I think she did. I don't know.
Well, he's also a little like punished throughout, right? With his issues with blood. Like he's the one that suffers the most.
But it's because he was the youngest.
Okay, well, I'm trying to help you out, Stephanie. I can't help you. Steph.
Got me there.
Steph, baby,
I can't help you. Steph M. Okay, wait. Can I bring something up that's not really a whine?
Well, yes.
If Edward Cullen lived today, he'd be horrified of COVID.
No, he wouldn't.
He
literally
lived through influenza. You know this boy would be wearing masks out of trauma.
Oh my god. He's like, never again.
Never. 6 feet apart, lady.
That is 5.5. Okay, yeah. I can count
like
from here.
A freaking
ruler.
Yeah. Tape measure.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh my gosh.
I would love that for him.
I do have another thing I want to complain about. The way that Jacob kissed Bella in Eclipse. Well, it was her who kind of told her to kiss him. Yeah. But I hated the conversation that led to this. So basically when it was Edward and Bella talking, and they were talking about them getting married, and Jacob just pops out in his khakis, in his sneakers, shirtless, in the freaking snow. I know he's hot, like, temperature-wise. I'm not talking about his attractiveness. But I know he's hot, but it's like, what the fuck? But he's like, you're marrying him? Whatever.
How dare you marry him when I'm right here?
Wait, I don't remember the nice guys always finish last, and then he leaves.
Also, at this point, there is a fight going on. Like that's like the battle scene, you know?
Yes.
So there's like a battle scene going on like yards away.
Okay, but
and
do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to read this because I want you. You know what? I'm just gonna read it and then we can talk about it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Bella goes after him because she's just like, oh my god, Jacob. I keep hurting Jacob and I can't keep hurting him. So he tells her that there's a pretty serious fight brewing down there. I don't think it will be difficult to take myself out of the picture. His words sank into my brain slowly one by one and I couldn't breathe. Despite all of my intentions to cut Jacob out of my life, I didn't realize until that second, how deep the knife would have to go to do it. Oh, no, Jake. No, 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 no. I choke in horror. No, Jake. No, please. No. My knees began to tremble. What's the difference, Bella? This will only make it more convenient for everyone. You won't even have to move. Because they're going to leave Forks. And she says, no, I won't let you. How will you stop me? He taunted. Jacob, I'm begging you. Stay with me. Because he's like, he's going to go to the fight.
Yeah. And okay, keep going. Keep going.
He says, for 15 minutes while I miss a good brawl so that you can run away from me as soon as you think I'm safe again, you've got to be kidding. She says, I won't run away. I've changed my mind. We'll work something out. There's always a compromise. Don't go.
In the movie, when they have that conversation, I really hate it because when he like walks towards like the edge of the cliff, he says to her like, whatever, I'm going to go kill something or maybe get myself killed.
Right. In the movie, it's different. So in the book, he's alluding more to like allowing himself to die in battle so that she doesn't have to pick between, not even that it was a competition at this point.
Yeah,
right?
but I kind of liked it a little better in the book. Still bad, but like I hate, that's so toxic. Mm-hmm. I've seen freaking boys freaking trying to be like, if you leave out that door,
it's over for me.
It's over. And it's like, that's so toxic.
It's so toxic.
So why is Jacob doing that? And then like freaking Bella's, who is engaged, bright ideas to kiss him.
Yes, because I don't know why. I literally don't understand this logic, but she tells him after all that, she tells him like, just kiss me, stay and kiss me. Because remember, I didn't say it, but he does kiss her at another point and she punches him.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so before that, they do have another kiss, but she punches him because it was more forceful. It was very forceful, actually. She
thought she broke her hand. And
I think she did.
When she went home to where Charlie was, and Charlie was like, what's going on? And it's like, she thought she broke her hand because I kissed her. And he was like, attaboy.
Good job.
And it's like, hello? You're my father. You're my father. And you're also a cop.
Like, I know. You're supposed to be on my side.
I hated that scene.
I hated that scene. But yeah, I didn't like that scene that I read because it's very manipulative. Like any guy or any girl or anyone that tells you like, you have to be with me or else I'm gonna go off myself. That's so toxic. It's so dangerous too. Like, just get out of it. Just get out. Just literally get out. That's so scary. Mm-hmm. It's really scary.
Okay, why don't we move to Breaking Dawn? Did you have anything else for Eclipse?
No, that was it. Breaking Dawn, I wrote a much shorter one because honestly, like half of that book, I just felt like it wasn't that
You
boring.
didn't need it. Yeah.
I didn't need it.
You didn't need it.
So what I wrote was they get married.
What?
Jacob again gets mad at Bella. Nothing new. But it's fine because she's married. She's married now. So then Bella and Edward go to their honeymoon. They have sex. And somehow she gets pregnant. Somehow. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of how sex works.
I mean, yeah, but he's dead. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how that works.
And they give birth to Satan's spawn, known as Renesmee.
Yes.
And Bella has the worst pregnancy ever. And it's a big deal because Renesmee is like one of her kind, or at least in present day. There was someone else, but they killed her or him.
Yeah.
She's half human, half vampire, so it's like a big deal. And the Volturi, which is like the higher rank vampires, they're like, nah, we got to kill her.
Because they think it's an immortal child.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, no, we got to get rid of her. It's a problem. So then they're about to battle. They don't actually battle, but in the movie, they do battle. And at the end of the day, they don't battle and everything's fine. The end.
Just to say, they don't battle in the movie. It was Alice's.
Well, could have been if they did battle.
That CGI baby's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
First of all, don't come for my baby Ren, okay? No one calls her Ren. It's only
Rennie.
Nessie.
Renesmee. Rennie Semi.
Ren. Just Ren.
Ren. You don't even know her name. Oh, it's Ren.
It's Ren.
Oh, yeah, it's Ren. You, buddy. Sweetie, hun. on. Okay.
Also,
Renesmee?
Yes, Renesmee.
Because I know that they used an animatronic baby because Renesmee aged so quick and they couldn't justify getting an actor for every like point of her life, I think.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was. It was like a money thing. So they got an
Literally,
animatronic
they had
baby.
bank.
That animatronic baby
Was so scary. I was scarred.
It gave me nightmares. That baby
It was ugly.
I think the reason I was scared of it was because it was too uncanny valley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was
For
like,
real.
no, thank you. But then they CGI'd the baby, and that baby looks like it's on a different like plane of existence. Like there was a scene where like she like touches Bella's face and like shows her the first memory of Bella, which is like when Bella breaks her back.
Yeah.
But like her hand. That I don't know. That baby freaked me out. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. It just, made my skin crawl a little.
Okay.
Gross.
You brought up one thing. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
The imprinting?
No. Before that.
Oh.
The wedding gift.
The wedding gift. Oh, ew. Isn't it so weird? If you've read it, it's so weird that Edward's wedding gift to Bella was literally Jacob. Like, what?
It's kind of like, I'm going to leave you two in a room, 15 minutes. I'm not telling you to do anything, but if you do anything, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's in this room. It's in this safe space.
I think they were outside, though, because this was like the wedding party. So basically, Jacob shows up to the party. And they're dancing, vibing. Yes. But of course, he gets upset with her because he asks her when she's going to be turned, right? And she's like, I kind of want to wait a little, And he's like, why? Like, what's the point of waiting? And she kind of alludes to like having a normal honeymoon, Yeah. What consists of a normal honeymoon, a little bit of,
Mardi Gras in my life. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And she's completely like, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean it.
I mean sex.
I mean, if the cookie crumbles, if you know what I mean. And it's like, what are you saying? I mean, if I'm on a trampoline and I bounce up, I have to come back down. It's like, what are you saying?
It's like, what?
I'm gonna fuck Edward.
Exactly. So Bella tells him, like, she doesn't tell him, but he figures out, oh, she's gonna have sex on her honeymoon as a human. And he's like, you can't do that. He'll break you. He'll kill you. Like, no, you can't do it. He gets really upset and pretty much like basically kind of ruins the party a little bit. You know the vibes?
Yeah.
We're vibing.
Yeah, it's like, you don't want me to have sex?
Rude.
On my honeymoon?
Rude. Who do you think I am?
I'd break my back for Edward.
For real.
Literally.
Literally. And yeah.
Yeah,
that
he
was
got
just
really pissed off.
Yeah, that's definitely a big whine. I just don't understand. Even just like, listen, I like Edward. I understand why people don't like Edward. Like, I get it. I totally 100% get it. But the thing about Edward was at least he was consistent. Because even from the beginning, the way that he expressed his emotions was just so like, not like a high school boy, which is good. But
because he wasn't, yeah.
He was like a very patient person. Even when Bella kisses Edward, he's like, you're only human. I get it. And she's like upset because he's not mad at her. Mm-hmm. And even when this, like, just the whole like giving Jacob to her as a present, it's like so weird because he's like, I know how much he means to you. And it's like, who?
So much trust, though.
Who would do this?
Oh, so much trust.
For real. All right, next one.
What do you think about imprinting?
I don't like it. I never liked it.
But it's a thing that happens. Not does it happen in real life?
Does it? What?
Wait, let me look it up real quick. Okay. Can you cover for me?
Okay.
Just say something.
You know what? It's so funny.
I looked up, is imprinting real? Yeah, it is, because remember, ducks can imprint. Because, like, sometimes they'll look at a human and they're like, Mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a phase-sensitive learning that occurs at a particular age or a particular life stage that is rapid and apparently independent on the consequences of behavior.
That's weird.
So imprinting apparently is a real thing. Happens with ducks. But I thought it was weird Only because I know they like what's the word, alluded to it by like talking about that one person who like had imprinted
on like a toddler, and Jacob was like, it's not like that, you know, it's like he just like loves her, but not like that. It's like, you know, it's like a bond.
But like it's
weird.
I think it was weird because he knew that he was going to spend the rest of his life with Renesmee. And even in the end, when it shows like when Alice looks into their future and it's him and Renesmee at the beach.
That's weird.
That's weird.
I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it either.
I didn't vibe with it. It
didn't
make me like Jacob or anything, you know?
No.
It wasn't like I was like, oh, now I get it. Now I understand why he was always around. Bella.
What did you think about the scene? This is serious talk. What did you think about the scene where it's like, Nessie, you named my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
You know what's funny? I didn't understand why she was so upset.
Me neither.
When I first read it, I was like, I don't get it. Like, okay.
She
was just emotional, you know? Vampires.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if this is a drag. But like Stephenie Meyer's humor, isn't that great?
Okay. Not a drag. It's a constructive criticism.
Like, because the only thing I'm going to say is that I really did like how, would you consider Stephenie Meyer's world building good? Because I thought it was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she thought out her characters and like... freaking everything. You know what was one thing, not a whine, one thing I really liked? How Bella in her heart thought that if you did not move as a vampire, you would eventually turn into stone. You remember that little tidbit? I don't, because they find a tribe of vampires that are so like stone-like, because they just, when they became vampires, there was one point where they were just still. There was nothing to do with their lives. So they just stood there. So she in her heart was like, you can turn into stone. And I just thought that was like, wow, that's such a like a little observational thing. Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. But your humor, Stephenie.
She's not watching this.
I feel like Robert Pattinson though. Yeah, that was a right cast. Good job, Stephenie.
You know what I love? The fact that Robert Pattinson fucking hates this role.
Did he?
Yeah.
What? Okay, I knew that he didn't like it.
Or at least he, like, you know, makes fun of it.
That's hilarious. I remember seeing the commentary for the first one. And he was just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't even know.
Do you have any more wines?
I put Renesmee and Jacob is gross.
Oh, cool. I did too.
I said in the book, nothing really exciting happens. To be honest, it's kind of boring. Besides, like, the beginning. Wait. I also didn't like the fact that it moved to Jacob's point of view. Literally, I don't freaking...
When did it do that again?
I literally don't care about Jacob's point of view. Like, it was like part 1, part 2, part 3. So
part you're right. You're right.
Although I will say that his jokes were kind of funny, but they were kind of like... you know, I mean, it was funny at the time. Yeah, it was like blonde jokes for Rosalie.
I hate that the book was anticlimactic. I just think that I like.
I know where you're going.
I like that the movie had that fight scene. I think the book would have been more impactful if that fight scene was real. Yeah, because I do think that the characters would have benefited as like their tribes of vampires if Carlisle had died.
My mother's gonna text you.
She's gonna hear this
one. She's gonna text you.
She's gonna hear this one. She's gonna be like on her English to Spanish dictionary.
Like, oh, hell no. You know what's funny? Okay, off topic, on topic. Yeah. So I took my mother to see Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Oh, I know the story.
I did not tell her anything because I hate spoilers. My mother is the type of person who she wants to know the end right away. Like, because she wants to prepare for it because she gets too anxious, I guess. I don't know.
Your mom's cute.
I know. But I was like, I'm not going to tell you anything. Just watch it. When that part happened, when Carlisle's head gets ripped off, she literally grabbed my arm and squeezed it. She was like, oh my God, why did you tell me this happened? She was freaking out in her seat. And I was just like,
keep watching, Mom.
Breathe, it's all right. And she was like so stressed. I've never seen her so stressed before. She was so stressed throughout that whole fight scene. For it to finally reveal that it wasn't real, she was like, You gave me a heart attack. I thought it was
The fact
real.
that your mom loves these movies gives me life.
If she liked tattoos, she would get a Twilight tattoo.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, she loves Twilight. My grandma does too. I showed them to my grandma.
In the family.
Yeah, I showed them to my grandma. My grandma was so in love with Edward and Carlisle, which was so funny because when Carlisle popped up in screen, she was like, "Oh my god, it's
your abuela."
I know. She was like, "Oh, who's that man?" It was like, "Calm down, grandma."
Oh my god,
so funny.
I have one more whine.
Okay.
I read a thing. I didn't look for it. Oh, I suck. But I read a thing that said that they believe that Bella died the moment she became a vampire. But not like in the literal sense.
But she did, though.
Technically.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that it was very weird for someone who loves people so much. Because she does love people. You can say that about Bella. She is there for the Colons. She wants to help them. She loves her dad. Is very protective of her dad. Mm-hmm. Her mom wasn't a great mother figure, but she still loves her mom. Mm-hmm. I just dislike the fact how fast she was okay with turning into a vampire when that meant that she would never have a normal relationship with anyone in her family. Mm. And it sucks because it's like Charlie will never have his daughter again. But she's in her own little world where, oh, this is so great. Mm-hmm. I'm with Edward every single day. But it's like, who's to say that this love is going to last? Yeah. Because your mindset is still a human. His is a freaking 1700-year-old what? Like it's
1700?
1700 years young.
Yeah.
But it's like, it makes me so angry. Because the scene where Charlie comes back to see her and she's just like, I'm fine, Dad. Really?
Well, because they were scared that because she was still new. So they were scared that she would thirst over him.
No, I know that. But even then, like, the fact that she did that.
Okay, but like, in her defense, I guess, Bella wasn't, like, she did love Charlie. But she lived without Charlie for a long time.
Yeah, and she did not have a good mother role in her life.
Yeah, I mean, she loved her mom too, but like it was said in the beginning, she's always been like more so independent.
I don't, but like...
No, I understand what you're saying. I know. Though. I get it.
I just think that at the end of the day, she did all this for a boy.
I think it would have been nice had there been a moment where she was like, oh, I'm gonna like see my parents die and they're not gonna see me age at all.
But it didn't happen. They sat in a freaking meadow and it was like, I have died every day waiting for you. And it's like, no.
It's not that kind of story.
I just hate it.
But it's not that kind of story. Oh. I don't know. Like, it's a romance.
Do you think that she... I don't know. Do you think that she would have bitten Charlie?
No.
No? Like, not even in the future if he gets sick or is in an accident?
Oh, you mean just, like, turn him?
In general, would she?
No.
That's crazy to me.
Why? You want him to be a vampire?
No, it's just because I think about how family-oriented I am. And if I met my Edward...
Ew.
If I met my Edward and then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, my sister got hurt. I think I would turn my sister.
But don't you think that's a little selfish?
It is.
Because you're only thinking of yourself.
I am. But she was too.
No, I feel like it would be selfish if she was like, well, now I gotta turn my whole family because I can't live without them.
I get what you're saying.
I just feel like it's not that kind of story where she was super like family oriented. She didn't even really have friends.
No.
She had a few friends, but not that
more
long.
Like high school friends.
Yeah. She was, she found her person. And they also, I do want to read something actually that I found. I think it was in Breaking Dawn, I'm pretty sure.
I like how mid-episode we were like, oh, hell yeah. But now we're like nearing the end, we're like, oh, hell yeah.
So this is when Bella's already a vampire, okay? It reads, "It was a strange feeling, not surprising, I suppose, since everything felt strange now. This being unnatural at something. As a human, I'd never been best at anything. I was okay at dealing with Renee, but probably lots of people could have done better. Phil seemed to be holding his own. I was a good student, but never the top of class. Obviously, I couldn't be counted out of anything athletic, not artistic or musical, no particular talents to brag of. Nobody ever gave away a trophy for reading books. After 18 years of mediocrity, I was pretty used to being average. I realize now that I'd long ago given up any aspirations of shining at anything. I just did the best with what I had, never quite fitting into my world. So this was different. I was amazing now, to them and to myself. It was like I had been born to be a vampire. The idea made me want to laugh, but it also made me want to sing. I had found my true place in the world, the place I fit, the place I shined." So she's basically saying she's a better vampire than she was a better human, which is interesting in my opinion.
That makes me sad because I think about kids these days, how, like, with no support, they're not gonna think that they're great.
Yeah.
Because her mom was more of a friend than a mom.
And her mom was more concerned with her own love life, which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And
Charlie, like, as much as he tried, he didn't know how to be a parent. Parenting's hard. He did not know how to be a parent. And he tried his best. But Bella just immediately like, oh my God, being a vampire is so great. But it's like, you have to.
But she was like really good at it, you know? Because even like comparing to Jasper struggled. Is still struggling. But with her, when she was near the hunters, remember when she was going to eat the mountain lion or whatever, drink its blood, she saw hunters, and Edward was scared because he thought she would immediately like lunge at them, but she ran away. She ran away, and he was like, what the heck, how did you do that? How did you just stop yourself?
She's a shield.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. She just has like,
she has
no
good
emotions.
Self-restraint.
No feelings.
It just makes me so sad for her, for what she could have been. Because if you think about it, like, she romanticizes what the Cullens see as a curse, which is their immortality.
Not all of them. Not
all of them, but just imagine.
I think they're sad because, especially Rosalie. Rosalie really wanted kids. But not everybody wants kids. No offense, Rosalie. That's your dream, not my dream.
I don't know. It just makes me sad.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But like...
But also, I don't get it.
This is just not that kind of story where it's like she's concerned with her family. Like, that's not that. This is not that story. Okay?
I know.
This is about vampires.
About vampires, about love. Okay, I'm in it.
And a shapeshifter.
Thank you. He is a shape. Do you want me to look it up? I'll prove it to you.
No, I saw it. I saw it when I was looking up notes on Eclipse.
Okay. You know what? My glass, she's still got some. Are you done?
Yeah.
Wait, can you say one thing? Can you say one thing and I'll finish my glass?
Yes. Okay. I do wonder if Stephenie Meyer would ever try to continue this world by doing it with Renesmee and Jacob. Because I was thinking about that. I wonder if she's ever thought about it.
I'm glad you said that.
Thank you.
Because remember when Midnight Sun was going to release a long time ago?
Oh my God, I remember.
And someone leaked her chapters?
Yeah, it was like the first 4.
Okay. As a writer, I'm not how would you feel if someone leaked your chapters?
I'd be so sad.
Not saying it's gonna be me.
But if it is.
Would you forgive me? I don't think I would forgive me.
No, I wouldn't.
That's horrible.
It is horrible. Yeah. It's so funny because at the time, because this was so long ago when they were actually released. At the time, I was really young. In my head, I was like, well, I mean, it's not like it's the whole story, Like, I still want to know, like, what's going to happen next. And it's funny. Now that Midnight Sun is released, it's like, she, like, changed a lot. Or at least she added a lot more details, I think, from what I remember. Speaking about Midnight Sun, are we gonna...
Should we read it?
Are we gonna talk about it?
I have it.
Not right now.
I have it right now.
Not right now.
No, but I feel bad for her. Sucks.
I feel bad for her too because it's just like that's your work. That's kind of like when musicians get their like either like their album release, not like the songs, but like the cover, the song, the track list. I mean, it sucks.
Because I remember she said that she wasn't gonna work on it anymore.
No, yeah, she said she was done. She was like, nah.
So do you think if you had this whole world planned out and you figure out that someone's leaking your stuff, me personally, I would not want to continue.
I feel like I'd change it. I change everything.
See, but that's another thing.
Because it's also not fair to you. Like, yeah, it's leaked, but like, it's still yours.
Yes, but would you change your work?
Yes.
Because of what your fans figured out or were able to piece together?
Yeah.
Will you change your work depending on the fans?
You mean like if they didn't like it, or what do you mean?
Yeah, because like, what if something leaked and they were like, I don't like how that started.
I would change it.
What? I wouldn't.
Well, I think I would already be changing it if it was leaked.
Because you're getting constructive criticism too.
Well, that and like I just don't like the idea of people reading something of mine or letting people in to something so personal without my consent.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I feel like I would immediately change it just on my own. Even if people did love it, I feel like I'd still change it.
Because it's weird. Because now that they know.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't.
Poor Stephanie.
Poor Steph. There was something else that I wanted to mention before we go on to the reviews.
Okay.
So personally for me, we talked about this briefly today. I would say the love triangle is like one of my least favorite tropes. Like literally, it might be my most disliked trope. I'm not really sure, but I really don't like that trope.
Really? I know you told me this today when we went to go eat, but like,
I feel like it's cheap conflict. Especially for a character like Bella, who literally was obsessed with Edward for like 2 books straight, and for her to be like, never mind,
Jacob, and she knew that she didn't love him as much as Edward. Very leading on of her.
I know, kind of sus, if you ask me.
I understand why you wouldn't like it. I respect that you don't like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. I just think that it wouldn't have been so bad if I didn't hate Bella.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, true. Yeah, true. I mean, I just wanted to say that because I feel like at the time when I was reading this, I feel like at that point I really hated love triangles. Right now, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of spice if you need to, I guess.
Yeah.
But also, off topic, but at that point, I was also like getting into Vampire Night. Did you ever read Vampire Night?
I know about it and I don't like it.
My God. The love triangle was killing.
Aren't they siblings?
Yes! I didn't know that though. It's not revealed till later.
Yeah.
Very immortal instruments, if you ask me. Anyway.
I think it's near the end.
We're done.
Very sad. I can talk about Twilight forever. I can listen to you talk about Twilight forever.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
No, it's not.
I know it's not.
But I think it's, in spirit of being a whine and read.
I feel like we're going to change things up a little bit because normally we will roll a dice.
Yeah. And
the dice will determine if we read a positive or negative review. But since it's a whine and read, we got to whine a little bit more.
Can we discuss these whines?
Yes, we can discuss them.
Okay, because I do have one I want to discuss.
Damn, I wish you would have told me that sooner. Okay.
No, it's okay. I am going to like yours. Okay. Either way, anything you do is perfect.
Oh my God. The same fucking face. All right, so I'm gonna start with a negative comment for Twilight. When there were so many, how do I pick one? So this is from Goodreads. It's from our girl or person, Annette. They say, okay, I know that I'm going to offend a lot of people with this review, but I feel that I have to be honest. There are a few things that bother me about this book, and I will only list the top 5 here. Number 1, Bella. She is the exact character that I do not want my daughters to have as a role model. She is a sighing, swooning, fainting, weeping, oh my God, weak female character straight out of the 19th century. This is the 21st century, people. Do we want to raise a generation of namby-pamby Okay.
Okay.
Young women who can't stand on their own 2 feet. Number 2, Edward. This is the kind of guy that I warn my daughters. Okay, we get it. You have daughters. My daughters to stay away from. The guy sneaks into her room and watches her sleep. Does anyone else see anything creepy about this? He's obsessed with rescuing her, and he thinks that if he doesn't follow her around 24/7, that she'll get herself into a dangerous situation that she cannot handle. Does anyone else see anything creepy about this? Number 3, the relationship. This is a textbook case of codependency.
Yes.
If I have ever seen one. They hardly know each other, but suddenly they can't live without each other. The dialogue is something straight out of a Harlequin. Ugh. I think that young people have enough trouble knowing the difference between love and lust, and this book does not help. Number 4, too much emphasis on appearances. It's like Edward's good looks are all that matters. Personality is not important. Bella must be good looking too. Why else would a 100-year-old vampire be interested in a 17-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Her personality leaves much to be desired, and we know it's not that. 5. We're there at the end. We're there. It's 5.
Okay.
The comparison between this series and the Harry Potter series. Excuse me? What? There's a comparison?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. The comparison between the series and the Harry Potter series. If I were J.K. Rowling, I would be offended that people are comparing the Twilight series with the Harry Potter series. Stephanie Meyer's writing is not up to par with J.K. Rowling. Not even close. The worst thing about this book is that it's so hugely popular. There are thousands of young girls all over the nation who are swooning over Edward and wishing they could be just like Bella. Gag. I truly think that this book is a detriment to society. There's a lot more I could say, but I think I've offended enough people for now. Wow, she's a mom, if you didn't get that.
She's a mom.
She's a mom.
Wait, what's her name?
She has daughters.
So we know.
Annette.
Annette.
On Goodreads.
I agree. It's everything we said. It's
I don't know if I agree.
They painted this as romanticizing someone sleeping in freaking your room and watching you sleep, or someone going to your room and watching you sleep. Mm-hmm. They romanticized the damsel in distress type of thing.
Mm-hmm. And it's not the only book that does that.
No, it's not. But it's like,
also, if you notice, there's like themes with like writing. Like when this was big, like I feel like
that was what was coming out.
That was what I kept seeing in like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Vampire Diaries did the same thing.
That's why Hunger Games was such a big deal, because that was deviating from the norm of that time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I do really like Twilight, but I just dislike Bella.
You know, Annette, I know you're a mom. I respect that. I respect
moms.
I respect moms.
Women
too.
Respect women.
Exactly. But I don't like it when people feel the need to dictate others as to be role models.
Okay. Yeah, you're completely right, actually.
Excuse me? Like, you're their role models. Literally, excuse me? Like, I was really into Eminem when I was little.
I remember.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I was super into Eminem. And who else? Miley Cyrus and... But I never had a wild phase, and I never was disrespectful to my parents. Literally, never. Literally, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know what to tell you. Right. I don't know what to tell you. It's, you know, you need to talk to your kids. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? You're right. We'll talk about that more after. Because I do agree with you. Can I read my New Moon one?
Yeah.
So this is on Goodreads too. This comes from Brittany, giving a 2 out of 5 star to New Moon.
Oh, I didn't say that. Annette gave it a 1 out of 5 stars.
Oh, damn.
Okay, go.
Book 1 was much better. Bella was so annoying and hypocritical. Okay. Jacob was good. Edward was absent. Oh, much like the movie. My thoughts while reading. And then she said a few pages, but I'm going to read the ones that I liked.
Okay. Page
102. Please tell me my incessant whining will stop soon. I'm not sure how much more I can take. I don't know. That's very self-hateful. I tried to remember if I like scary movies, but I wasn't sure. Come on. How is this something you don't know about yourself? This is why people have issues liking you, Bella. I like the little commentary.
The thoughts.
I don't know why he was looking at me so strangely. I talked to him at work, didn't I? Did I? I thought so. How selfish can you be, Bella? You don't even know the answer to this? You only want to be around people to satisfy the gaping hole from your emotionally abusive relationship gap. And then you wonder why no one is your friend, you narcissist. Don't try to hide behind us introverts. I couldn't tell if the phone lines were still broken or if they had invested in caller ID. On Wednesday, I called every half hour until after 11 at night. Can we say psycho stalker? Oh my God. And then page 308. Bella has an extreme bias saying that the werewolves are monsters, but not the vampires, and even contemplating letting them be killed, but never says anything about the multiple times she's attacked and hunted by vampires. Just a little food for thought. I do think that we have to realize too, and this is coming from me who dislikes Bella. Bella is a human and a flawed character. Mm-hmm. So of course she's going to have certain perceptions about certain things in the book.
That's okay. That's a different discussion. But like I kind of want to bring it up a little bit. Do you notice that people always hate on the female leads in books because they're flawed, obviously. And it's almost like people want them to be perfect immediately in the first book. Yeah. And there's no like room for growth. I mean, obviously we can talk whether or not she actually had any growth between all of the books to the end. But I think about that sometimes. So I try not to be super harsh with like the female like protagonists.
I get it. I think this person just really hated me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read your Eclipse review.
Okay, so this is also from Goodreads, not sponsored. And this is from Melissa, who rated it a 2 out of 5. Melissa says, as an avid fan of both Twilight and New Moon, I found Eclipse a little disappointing. Mm-hmm. I appreciated the new perspective, but I don't think it was achieved. We get new stories straight from Jasper and Rosalie's mouths, but what was the point? After investing however many pages to both stories and developing these characters, they don't speak or have any significance to the plot for the next 400 pages. It was wasteful. And I was a little concerned that Myra's religious beliefs are intruding in her story. What was that quote? I want to marry you before we have sex so I can save your soul. Your Bible says that we should get married, unquote. She's going to be a vampire. I think saving her soul is out. And having Jacob quote some Bible story, he is a practicing Native American. He wouldn't know Bible stories like that. Totally unbelievable. Also, the main storyline, the killings in Seattle, seemed too ambiguous to really link our Forks vampires to the scenes. I didn't feel like this was as personal or enthralling for Bella to make it interesting for me. Having her fly to Italy to save Edward and meeting up with the Volturi, now that was a good, personal, exciting plot. Stephanie, I really want to like this book. If you're going to invest in Rosalie and Jasper, put them in the plot. Please step it up next time. Leave religion out of it and stop with Bella's whining.
You know what? It's like kind of, I don't know what I can say there. Because Stephanie Meyer, if your influence came from your religion, okay. But you also have to realize that if you're going to write characters from different cultural backgrounds,
they're not going to follow the same religion.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like be aware that your characters have to have different backgrounds.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, it's a little like, pretentious to tell someone like step it up. Like
I know that is. Like, I have a Breaking Dawn. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Okay. I have a Breaking Dawn review said by Robert Pattinson himself.
The fuck. Okay.
When you read the book, says Pattinson, looking appropriately pallid and interesting even without makeup. Oh my God, just saying it because he's kind of hot.
Love that for him.
Edward Cullen was so beautiful, I creamed myself. I mean, every line is like that. He's the most ridiculous person who's so amazing at everything. I think a lot of actors try to play that aspect. I just couldn't do that. And the more I read the script, the more I hated that guy. So that's how I played him, as a manic depressive who hates himself. Plus, he's an 108-year-old virgin, so he's obviously got some issues there.
I can't believe that Edward was a virgin. That's great.
Well, I mean, abstinence for life. Abstinence for lifers.
For life. Hey, no judgment, okay?
No judgment.
No judgment.
But can I say, the fact that Robert Pattinson does not like Twilight
is so
will
funny.
always like take like my skin acne, just like clear it. And I'm like, yes. I love that. I love that he hates it.
Yeah. It's funny to me that he's so like against it.
Yeah. And there was another one that I read where he said, oh
damn.
my gosh. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Oh yeah, I could never legitimize why an 108-year-old guy would want to still be in high school.
I mean, true. Like, why? First of all,
hate it.
Why?
I hate it. I agree with Robert.
Me too.
I think that was all of our bad reviews.
Yeah.
I am sleepy. But you know what? Thank you so much for listening to our wine and read. It is always wine o'clock, but if you need to sober up, you do this. It's also coffee time.
Yeah.
It's also coffee time.
It is.
So if you need to sober up.
But there's no coffee here, so.
No, it's only wine o'clock. I actually don't like coffee.
Me neither.
Thank you so much for joining us. It really, truly means a lot. If you are watching us on YouTube, please leave a comment, a like, and hit that notification bell, because if you hit that bell, for every time you hit that bell, there's another member of Team Charlie. Another member is born. Of Team Charlie.
Is that a good thing?
That is factual. Oh, wait, actually, I don't want to say that. I don't know how suing works. I don't want Stephanie Meyer to be like, no, that is not factual. It's not. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry I lied. This is my second apology that I'm But thank you so much. Please leave a comment. That always helps. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, any of that stuff, please leave a review, because reviews help with analytics. Apparently, Niles is still getting the research on for that.
At this very moment.
At this very moment, at whatever time it is where she's at. She is going to be back soon, by the way. She will be aged. Actually, we had her cryogenically frozen, so she will be the same age she was when she left. But thank you so much for joining us. If you want to recommend us to any of your friends, family, uncles, aunts, grandmas, grandpas,
not great grandpas,
tatarabuelos, no pueden. Tatarabuelos no pueden. I'm sorry,
they can't.
Your great grandpas can't come. But everyone else, please talk about us, because the best way to be known is by word of mouth. So thank you so much.
You.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.